Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Melvin Williams, and I'm coming to you from M&N Communications. The purpose of this webinar today is because yesterday, when I was in Philadelphia with my mother, I had the pleasure of meeting a young lady who was passionate. She was driven. She had desire. And I was handing out some of my flyers, and in the process of doing this young lady said, "Excuse me, are you hiring?" And I said, "Unfortunately, at this time, we're currently not hiring." And she said, "You know what? My husband, he needs a job. He's 28 years old, and he has a checkered past, and he's ran into some trouble, and he just can't find a job. He has some previous charges that are preventing him from people taking that chance on him." And I said, "Well, what does he do?" And she says, "Well, he's a very handy guy. He's a carpenter. He's a plumber. He has all of these different skills, and that got me thinking. And I sat down and I thought about her, and that got me thinking. And that was the reason why I started this webinar. And the title of this webinar is How to Start a Business in 2018. So let's go over it again. How to start a business in 2018. Let's get right down to the meat and the potatoes. It is as easy to start a business as going to the IRS website and requesting a tax ID. So once again, the first step in starting a business in 2018 is to request a tax ID from the IRS. The IRS does not ask you about your previous history. The IRS does not ask you about your work history. The IRS is only concerned with one thing, and that is your Social Security number, some verifiable information, and voila, within a matter of 10 minutes, you now own a company. You are now the owner of a company. You now have something that you can call your own. And that leads me to this statement. God gave every person on this earth a talent or a skill. We were all created rich. We have an abundance of talents within us. The question is, can you quiet the noise, and can you look into your body and find out specifically what talent and what goal you have? So let's go ahead and jump right down into it. How do we start a business in 2018? And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get a tax ID number. The next thing that we need to do is we need to understand that there is a shift in the way that people spend their money. Traditionally, when you started a business or if you ran a business, you expected customers to buy your product or service and foot the bill. But we have something called MRR, monthly recurring revenue. Monthly recurring revenue is a shift in the way that people expect their money to be generated. Having a monthly recurring revenue projection schedule allows you to project that prospective money. So what we're going to do is, before we dive deep into what MRR is, we're just going to look at an example of this young man that his wife was speaking to me with. She said he was a carpenter, and it really got my wheels turning. And I said to myself, okay, if he's a carpenter, then that means that he could start a property management business today. So I decided that I was going to tell him how to do that. How do we start a property management business today? So first step is to go to the IRS website. The second step is to understand the skills that you have. Write those skills down. Learn to market those skills. And the third thing is you want to understand how to get a client. Whether you're going to use direct contact, are you going to be going to networking events? Are you going to be a public speaker? Do you write? Are you doing promotional events? Are you going to have the ability to advertise? But the most important thing about getting a client is that we live in a society now where everyone is informative. Everyone has the ability to use Google to research some information. So with that being said, starting a business in 2018, you're going to get your tax ID. You're going to review the skills that you have. And then you're going to understand how to get a client. And then last but not least, you're going to establish yourself as an expert within your industry. How do you establish yourself as an expert within your industry? That's going to lead me to the next steps of starting a business in 2018. Technology is fuel for your vision. technology is fuel for your vision. Some of the people that I know, they are the best cooks in the world. Some of the people that I know, people take their kids to them. Some people I know, they're tax representatives. Some people are plumbers. Some people are designers. Some people are carpenters, stone masons, brick masons. Establish yourself as an expert, finding those mediums, using technology to fuel your vision. So before we move on, we're going to go ahead and go over these really, really quick things. How to start a business in 2018. Step 1, get a tax ID number. Step 2, understand that you already have the skills that you need to succeed. For most of us, we've worked our whole entire adult life for another company. During that time, we acquired skills. We learned, we were trained to support someone else's dream. So when you look deep down inside, what is it that you enjoy doing? What is it that you love to do that people don't even have to pay you for? And then when you find that, that is the one thing that you want to that is the product that you want to package. You want to have a service-driven business. And for all those brothers that's out there that's from the hood, that grew up in the hood, or their method of learning how to make money was in the streets, well, let's get really, really deep down into it. When I was growing up, you always grabbed something to flip. For example, you would buy something with a certain amount of money, and then the goal was to double it. So for all those hustlers out there who want to start a business in 2018, remember that the same thing applies for running a business. Okay, you're going to double, triple, and try to maximize your services. For example, me, I love to write. So how do I take my ability to write and be able to make some revenue off of that? Well, I know for a fact that there's people out there that need people to articulate what they're saying. There's people out there that are looking for grants. There's people out there that are looking for people who can write important information down for them. So when we look at that MRR model, the model of a monthly recurring revenue plan, I can sit here and say to a prospective customer, hey, listen, I know for a fact that you're looking at getting that grant for your business. And I know that it's a tedious situation. So what we do is we do grant writing as a service. Grant writing as a service. We're not looking for you to take a large capital investment into getting your grant proposal written. Something as simple as $9.99 a month. For $9.99 a month, you can enlist my services where I will write your grant for you. So you see, I love to write. And I took that skill that I had, and then I marketed it, and then I sold it to someone else. And then I'm able to now project that. And then I'm now able to get 20 customers who need my grant writing assistance. Maybe I'm a carpenter. Maybe I'm a painter. And let's go back to that property management firm. I'm going into prospective business owners or prospective real estate agencies, and I'm talking to these agencies about the importance of maintaining their property. They invested that money into those houses. That's an expense or is generating revenue for them. So I love to fix things. I love to make sure things are in place. So what's wrong with me going into a prospective business, explaining to them that their tenants are going to move out, that when their tenants move out, they don't have to worry about investing a large lump sum of money. Okay, we do this as a monthly recurring revenue model where they pay us $49.95 a month. What does $49.95 a month covers? Well, basically, it gives you priority scheduling. For example, generally speaking, if you called the plumber, you would have to pay for the plumber to come out. Sometimes that's as simple as $125 plus parts and then the additional labor. So when we take the shift, this MRR, this monthly recurring revenue model, we're able to tell this prospective client, hey, listen, you don't have to worry about taking a large lump sum of money and redoing that property. Okay, you've paid your monthly fees. Those monthly fees are ran into it. We sold you a maintenance package. So once again, for anyone who is a carpenter, for anyone who is a plumber, there is an opportunity out there for you to make money in 2018. So we're going to do this. You need to introduce your service, okay? You need to introduce your service to the world. You need to become an expert. You need to use things like YouTube, okay? You need to offer your service as a subscription base. And then what you need to do is you need to understand that technology is going to fuel this vision. Okay, so I'm going to go over 3 things that you must have in 2018 to start a business, and then we're going to wrap this up talking about the technology that's going to fuel that business and give you the ability to make the world your office. So the first thing, the most important thing in this process of starting a business in 2018 is to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. You have to. I remember when I started my business back in 2008, I remember my uncle, who loves me to death, and I love my uncle to death. He would never say a bad word about me at all. But when the going got tough, and it did get tough, trying to start my own business in an economic downturn, you know, I have a checkered past as well. So believe me when I tell you, when the going got tough, and it did get tough, you know, my uncle would always say to me, "Hey, Melvin, why don't you go back to work? I understand that you have your dream. Look at me, I'm driving for Uber. Why don't you just drive for Uber a little bit?" And I sat there and I smiled in front of my uncle's face and I said to him, "You know what, Uncle, you're right. I got to go back and get a job." But I kept remembering this quote from Eric Thomas when he said that there are 4,000 seconds in a day. And that number may be wrong, but just the fact that he broke it down to how many seconds are in a day. And I sat there and said to myself, I don't have time, any seconds, to waste building someone else's dream up. So the number one most important thing, after you establish your tax ID, after you find out what your skills are, whether you're going to mark up a product, the number one thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to have to believe in yourself. The second thing is I want everyone to understand that there is nothing that you can't learn today. We live in a society where YouTube is there for everyone. You know, how-to videos. Become a master of understanding and watching how-to videos. Educate yourself. Understand what business owners want. You know, they want universal stuff. They want minimized cost, improved productivity, you know, collaboration. You know, they want to be able to preserve existing initiatives, and they want something that's going to be counterproductive to their bottom line. So the third thing that we need to do, or the second thing, is understanding that we have to continuously learn. We have to continue to educate ourselves, and YouTube is going to be the major method to do that. And the third thing to this starting a business in 2018 is going to be to take action. You know, take action. Go to the IRS website as soon as you hear this video. Put your name, your social security number in there, and apply for a tax ID. Call all of your friends that you know that already call you for the product or service that you helped them out with. Tell them that you're now offering your service as a monthly subscription. Find a fee that is low enough, just like Netflix, because Netflix is doing it every day. They charge you $15 a month. They charge you $9 a month to be able to access their services. So find a number that's reasonable for you, that you can still maintain a profit, but you create a sticky relationship, and more importantly than anything else, you have projected revenue coming in. Projected revenue, which is going to allow you to plan the future. So these 3 steps: believe in yourself, understanding that there is nothing you can't learn, YouTube is out there, and that you have to take action. So now we're going to really dive into using technology to fuel your vision. You know, there seems to be a little bit of a disconnect in between how do I get a customer. Well, one of the things that the customers are looking at is they're looking at your image. So for all you for all you Yahoo users, for all you AOL users, for all of those email addresses that are not a company email address, it does not endue confidence in you. Why should I choose you to purchase your product or service when you can't even get a hosted email platform? So the first technology solution, because technology is fuel for your vision. Once again, technology is fuel for your vision. So the first technology solution that you're going to need in 2018 to make sure that you maximize who you are, to make sure that you have a authentic image, and to make sure that customers can reach you at all times, is a hosted exchange platform. And we're looking up here on the screen. It looks like it's a hosted SharePoint, but that's not exactly what we want. So the first thing that we really, really need, it's going to be that hosted exchange platform. Having a hosted exchange platform gives you the ability to have email. It's active sync. You're able to get this email on your mobile device. It's a business grade email, shared calendars with shared contacts. It syncs all your data across all of your devices. It extends mobility to your smartphones, to your tablets, and any operating system. It comes with a McAfee-powered antivirus and spam. Once again, you're starting your own business in 2018. There's no hardware to buy, no software to manage. You can control it. It's easy as plug and play. It gives you the ability to provide users and yourself with the essential productivity tool to make sure that you can communicate to your prospective customers. Because like I said to you before, you need these tools to make sure that you're successful. Technology is the fuel for your vision. So the next solution that we're going to go over, because the number one solution is that hosted exchange. The next solution is having a cloud-hosted PBX phone platform. A phone platform that's going to give you something called an auto-attended. I don't even know if I would purchase something from a prospective business if I called the business and during normal business hours, I called in and I couldn't access anyone. I couldn't speak to anyone. I didn't get a voicemail. There was no email to voicemail transcription. There were no features that I could use. That would tell me from the door that this prospective business owner was not doing what he needed to do. He was not fully invested in making sure that he could establish himself as an expert. He was not using technology to fuel his vision. So once again, the second thing that you're going to get is you're going to get a hosted PBX. A hosted PBX you can get for $29.95 a month. And one of the things that I forgot to mention early on is how to start a business in 2018 for less than $200 a month. So let's rephrase that. How to start a business in 2018 for less than $200 a month. So this phone system, it's a built-in phone system that you have. It's going to give you features like find me, follow me, voicemail to email, three-way calling. You're going to get a fax line. You're going to get a conference calling line, smartphone applications. You're going to save almost 50% because you're not paying anything on capital investments. You're not buying a phone system. It's a plug and play. So no matter where you're at, as long as there is an internet connection, you can open up your phone, plug it in, and you can start doing business. So once again, you can start doing business. Starting a business in 2018 for under $200 a month requires you to have a hosted email platform, a hosted PBX platform. And one of the next solution is something called ShareSync. You have to have something like this. You have to have a solution that is integrated. It's a file sync and share service that offers simplicity and mobility without the risking of control and protection. So to get down to the nutshell, because maybe there's no technical people on here, but this takes your home desktop and it gives you the ability to take all of your files, all of your data, and you have it with you at all times. It's just like Dropbox, but for a business, okay? This is built-in disaster recovery, built-in ransomware remediation. You have the ability to never lose a file. Every time a file is updated, changed, manipulated, moved, you're going to be able to track that. This solution gives a small business owner, because that's who you're going to become after you get your tax ID number, after you put your skills down on paper, after you pick a MRR monthly model, a monthly recurring revenue model, and after you purchase these technology solutions to fuel your business, fuel your vision, you're going to become a small business owner. So as a small business owner, work may be done anywhere in the world. You take your office everywhere with our ShareSync product. So these solutions are going to give you the ability to maximize the service that you have. You know, you're going to have the ability to show the prospective customer what you want, what you can do. You're going to have the ability to show them on a demo. You're going to have the ability to sell your pitch to the customer using technology. And before we wrap this up, I'm just going to say that there is no better time than right now to start a business. For as little as $200 a month, you can have a fully functional working office phone. You can have fully functioning encrypted emails. You can have fully functioning email archiving. You can have a fully functioning phone system, a phone system that works for you, not against you. Email to voicemail transcription or voicemail to email transcriptions. You have built-in business continuity solutions for under $200 a month. So I'm going to wrap this up, and I'm going to tell everyone that's listening to me, that there's no better time than right now. Start your own business. Go to the IRS website. Look at the tax ID. Get the tax ID number. Review your skills. Remember that technology is fuel for your vision. Believe in yourself. Understand that there is nothing out there that you can't learn. YouTube is awesome. Take action today, right now, by contacting M&N Communications to get a 30-day subscription to these technology solutions. Contact me today so that we can talk about how you can start this business up. You know, at some point in time in our life, we all realize what our purpose is. And I love technology. I love selling it. I love fixing problems for prospective business owners. But for the most part, I love helping people. And there seems to be a disconnect in between the market of how to start a business in 2018 for less than $200 a month. Thank you very much. My name is Melvin Williams from M&N Communications. I truly hope that this helps someone, and I truly hope that that young lady who was struggling yesterday and she was looking at her husband and she was saying that he was having trouble finding a job, I want them to understand that your past is not a direct reflection of your future. Just like DNA, we all made mistakes and we learned from them and we became a better race. Our mistakes help us to become better people. So for all those people out there that think that they have a checkered past, look at the mistakes that you've made, look at how they altered and made you the person that you are, and start using technology to fuel your vision. Start using technology to fuel your vision. If you need additional help with this, you can contact me, Melvin Williams, at telecomexpensereduction.com. Or you can reach me at 215-660-3890. Thank you for your time, and I hope that you have a great day.